This is a Binance Coin BNB price prediction and BNB analysis today. Two trading items signals on hourly, 4-hourly and daily timeframes as well as XRP news today. Now we present current trading system signals. We always decisions only that align with the higher timeframe trend. The daily chart gives us a sell signal. When the decision is made on the daily timeframe, we only consider sell signals that align with the weekly timeframe. Technical analysis and trading signals on the 4-hourly timeframe. On the 4-hour chart, we see the buy signal. When the decision is made on the 4-hourly timeframe, we only consider buy signals that align with the daily and weekly timeframe. Technical analysis and trading signals on the 1-hour timeframe. On the hourly chart, we see the buy signal. When the decision is made on the hourly timeframe, we only consider buy signals that align with the daily timeframe. Watch until the end of video as we will present you results of our another trading strategy. Subscribe to get more technical analysis videos. Before we present our second trading signals from our second systems as well as technical analysis, we will tell you about other price prediction news. 1. Bitcoin price prediction 2025 to 2030. Will BTC cross its ATH anytime soon? 2. Bitcoin price prediction. Is BTC about to surge 20%? 3. Bitcoin price prediction. How BTC can rally higher from here after tech stock reversal. Bitcoin price prediction 2025 to 2030. Will BTC cross its ATH anytime soon? At first glance, the fact that Bitcoin is becoming less volatile than equities seems to be a positive thing. However, cryptocurrency traders caution that in a low-volume environment, this may not be a positive thing. The coin's 30-day realized volatility has lately dropped drastically, according to Noel Acheson, publisher of the Crypto is Macro Now newsletter. According to Acheson's Coin Metrics data collection, it has been hovering over 64% yearly for the last month and was at about 52%. Meanwhile, BitVol, a volatility indicator, has begun to break down, falling to near record lows since the spring, according to Jake Gordon of Bespoke Investment Group. At press time, the index was hovering at 69. Down from over 111 in May. The dismal trend, according to Mike Novogratz, CEO of Bitcoin investment company Galaxy Digital, might last another 2 to 6 months. According to him, the bulk of investors that needed fiat have already sold their holdings, and sellers are badly exhausted. To buck the trend, the Fed's monetary policy must change. Top-tier Bitcoin whales are still selling, and their current holdings range between 110,000 BTC. Over the preceding year, 3.5% of the supply at these critical addresses was relocated to areas with less influence on future price changes. Another 0.4% of BTC's supply was destroyed in September. The buildup of prospective whales is a crucial trend to keep an eye out for in October. Because there is still a scarcity of unique BTC moving from address to address, the NBT signal has issued a negative signal for the second month in a row. A shift in this direction might suggest a positive trend. Despite this, cryptocurrency has grown from near worthlessness to become one of the world's greatest assets. Bitcoin's market valuation surpassed that of some well-known corporations. One thing is immediately obvious from this data: Bitcoin's price cycles are becoming shorter. Furthermore, despite the fact that the currency regularly loses value, the average price of Bitcoin continues to rise. This suggests a positive future trend. Moreover, despite widespread dismissal, the crypto sector, particularly Bitcoin, is known for its tenacity and ability to recover. Various financial gurus have continuously forecast that the Bitcoin bubble would collapse soon throughout the last 8 years. However, the currency remains in high demand, and BTC investors profit handsomely. Why are these predictions important? With BTC recently emerging as a powerful store of value, it is critical that investors understand where popular experts see the cryptocurrency headed over the next decade. These forecasts, although not with perfect certainty, may assist traders and holders in making sound judgments. However, it is not all. According to CoinGecko, Bitcoin has a market share of a little under 38%. While this percentage isn't as high as in 2017 or even 2021, it's still a sizable portion. By extension, it implies that whatever happens to Bitcoin will impact the remainder of the altcoin market. Even if you only trade altcoins, how BTC does will affect you because of this. This video will provide a quick overview of the cryptocurrency's recent market performance, emphasizing its market cap, volume, and rate of appreciation and depreciation. The same will be extended upon using datasets such as non-zero addresses, the number of whale transactions, and so on. It will finish by reviewing the forecasts of the most popular analysts and platforms and examining the Fear and Greed Index to gauge market sentiment. the price of Bitcoin, its volume, and everything in between. Bitcoin was trading at $19,154 on the price charts at the time of writing, down 1.81% from the previous day. Needless to say, the price fluctuation of BTC affected its market cap as well. When the cryptocurrency's price reached a short-term high on July 30th, the market value rose to $469 billion. At the time of publication, it had dropped to $370 billion. As predicted, BTC USDT was the most popular trading pair on the market, with Binance accounting for more than 6.3% of the market share. According to Santiment's exchange inflow indicator, 620 Kelvin Bitcoin tokens were added to all exchanges on September 19th. As a consequence, there is currently $11,879,200,000 in Bitcoin available for purchase at any moment. The above might be excellent news for investors, especially because many people would perceive this as a good time to acquire BTC on the cheap. In fact, although BTC is still more than 69% away from its all-time high of almost $69,000, there is a lot of confidence in the air. Take, for example, the remarks of the renowned Bill Miller. He made headlines a while ago when he declared, "Bitcoin's supply is expanding at a rate of around 2.5% each year, but demand is growing faster." According to Miller, this increase in demand would be matched by a matching increase in price, with some speculating on a price of $100,000. Bloomberg Intelligence came to the same conclusion when it said that the demand and adoption curves led to an estimate of $100,000 by 2025. One may argue that the rise of Bitcoin as a store of value has fueled much of its recent demand and growth. In reality, although many people are interested in Bitcoin for the technology, many others are looking for a solid return on their investment. In this respect, it is useful to consider its ROIs. According to Messari, at the time of writing, BTC was providing negative ROIs of -27% and -41% over 3-month and 1-year time frames, respectively. Bitcoin price prediction: is BTC about to surge 20%? As technical indications imply investor hesitation, the Bitcoin price forecast remains neutral to slightly optimistic. The Bitcoin USD pair is now trading in a tight range of $19,210 to $19,000. The Bitcoin market lacks volatility, and investors seem to be waiting for a strong fundamental reason to drive breakouts. Crypto activity fueled by the war in Russia and Ukraine. As the situation between Russia and Ukraine worsens, more people are using Bitcoin. As a sneak peek at its upcoming 2022 Geography of Cryptocurrency report, Chainalysis, a blockchain research company based in New York, released a report on the fast-growing use of crypto in Eastern Europe from illegal sources. Residents in both nations increased their activities dramatically after Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February. Economic circumstances worsened at the height of the war, resulting in oppressive price hikes. Chainalysis discovered that people in Russia subjected to economic restrictions imposed by numerous nations in response to the invasion were more likely to possess stablecoins than any other digital asset. According to the research firm, Russia's volume of stablecoin transactions increased from 42% in January to 67% in March. Since then, there has been a rise in crypto activity in the nation. Elliptic, a blockchain analytics company, discovered that in the 2 weeks after the invasion, the country received $63 million in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency contributions. According to a Financial Times report from 2022, cryptography aid to Ukraine has already crossed the $100 million threshold. To make a long story short, there has lately been greater use of Bitcoin and altcoins, which is expected to boost the Bitcoin price. BTC falls as the US dollar strengthens. A stronger US dollar might be one of the causes for a pause in Bitcoin's upward trajectory. The University of Michigan had issued consumer sentiment statistics the day before that indicated a considerable improvement. Consumer sentiment improved to 59.8 in October 2022, the highest level in 6 months, up from 58.6 the previous month and beyond market expectations of 59. In addition, following an upwardly revised 0.4% gain in August, the Commerce Department said Friday that September sales were unchanged. The August sales number was corrected, bringing the growth rate down to 0.7%. Despite the fact that the data is flat, the market expects the Federal Reserve to increase interest rates by 0.75 percentage points at its November policy meeting. Bitcoin price prediction: will BTC rise by 20%? The current Bitcoin price is $19,168 with a $28 billion 24-hour trading volume. Bitcoin has dropped more than 2% in the previous 24 hours. With a live market worth of $367 billion, CoinMarketCap has risen to first place. Bitcoin has found immediate support at $19,135 and has fallen below the 50-day moving average, signaling a bearish trend. A break below $19,135 may trigger BTC to fall to the previous triple bottom support at $18,709, while a second breach may cause BTC to fall to $18,246 as well. On the upside, resistance remains at $19,958. If the price falls below $19,134, investors may consider selling. A bullish breakout of $19,960 or $20,458 on the other hand, has the potential to generate a 20% price increase. Pre-sales of the new cryptocurrency. Investing in a new token pre-sale is one way to deal with the volatile and gloomy cryptocurrency market. We've been watching the IMPT token pre-sale, a new cryptocurrency that just generated more than $4.6 million in a seed round. Analyst predicts massive crypto breakout by midweek in Bitcoin and Ethereum. The Bitcoin price trend remained uncertain as the commodity held over $19,000 after the publication of CPI data and US FOMC minutes. Analysts are looking at the total value of the altcoin market to figure out when a cryptocurrency will break out in the next week. Bitcoin is anticipated to have a massive crypto breakout by midweek. Justin Bennett, a well-known forex trader and crypto expert, examined the whole altcoin market capitalization and anticipated a cryptocurrency breakout by midweek. After Thursday's rise, the analyst said that the altcoin market capitalization is following a 4-month pattern that will end soon. Bennett anticipates a dramatic break in either direction from cryptocurrencies by October 19th, Wednesday at the earliest. Bennett has previously predicted breakouts in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and top-tier altcoins. This breakout forecast means that either Bitcoin will have a surge in dominance or it will lose its critical support at $19,000 and fall. According to Bennett, the tranquil time for cryptocurrencies is coming to an end, and traders should brace themselves for turbulence in the next week. Bennett recently addressed his setup and advice in a tweet. As the analyst was cited, he said, "Some of you seem to believe I am a lot more optimistic than I am. I'm not a permanent bull or bear. I'm a trader, so I value charts. Period. Bitcoin could move higher, lower, or sideways. Regardless, there will be opportunities." A Bitcoin correcting wave identified by analyst TechDev52, a crypto analyst and trader, identified a 18-month BTC corrective wave that is still developing. The expert has seen the wave and thinks that Bitcoin needs a short-term correction, which shows that he or she has a negative view. Bitcoin price prediction: how BTC can rally higher from here after tech stock reversal. Some recent encouraging news has lent some validity to the thought that the Bitcoin price might continue to grow dramatically, perhaps breaking ATHs before the next halving in 2024. The markets have recently been extremely volatile as central banks around the world try to gradually unwind their leverage in order to prepare for the inevitable collapse that they have created by kicking the can down the road in order to avoid previous crises. Analysts such as Dan Tubb have expressed their views that central banks around the world have historically chosen to inflate bubbles further rather than fixing market fundamentals by lowering interest rates. Fortunately, as seen by the Nasdaq's recent reversal, there are some silver linings, and several technology companies have made impressive recoveries. Bitcoin's price may rise dramatically from here. The Bitcoin price is presently down 70% from its all-time highs, which is a big bargain for anybody looking to join the markets at cheaper pricing. The present price, which is just around $20K, is lower than the last bull market's ATH, which is highly appealing to prospective market newcomers. On a longer time horizon, charting Bitcoin's development logarithmically rather than linearly reveals that there is a significant amount of potential upside from where Bitcoin now sits. Although heavily criticized since some missed price targets in the previous bull market, Plan B's stock-to-flow model has remained one of the most accurate models over longer time frames with a relatively high degree of accuracy. The Bitcoin price remains within a few standard deviations of what the model predicted in 2017, which is highly impressive given the extremely high levels of volatility in network-driven assets. Plan B's model now indicates that Bitcoin is in a strong purchase zone, and this perspective is echoed in the Rainbow chart, a model comparable to Plan B's that also monitors Bitcoin's growth on a logarithmic scale. The reversal in big tech stocks is also considered bullish for the Bitcoin price because Bitcoin and big tech stockholders are frequently the same people, and there is a high degree of correlation between the two. Particularly over shorter time frames, many maximalists have lamented that this correlation demonstrates a lack of understanding about Bitcoin, and believe that it should instead be treated as a risk. The Nasdaq's recent volatility may be ascribed in part to increased volatility in European and Asian markets, where central bankers are urgently striving to alleviate the consequences of government inconsistencies. Morgan Creek expects that Bitcoin will reach $100,000 before the next halving. Morgan Creek CEO Mark Yusko has forecast that the Bitcoin price would surpass $100,000 before the second halving in 2024. Despite what Morgan Creek Digital Assets co-founder Anthony Pompliano has often said, that price projections are a fool's game. Yusko has stated that he thinks Bitcoin is now selling considerably below its true value of roughly $30,000. Thank you very much for watching until now. Here are the results of our another trading strategy. Trading System 2. Technical analysis and trading signals on the daily time frame. The daily chart gives us a sell signal. When the decision is made on the daily time frame, we only consider sell signals that align with the weekly time frame to reduce the risk and increase the probability of success. Trading System 2. Technical analysis and trading signals on the 4-hourly time frame. On the 4-hour chart, we see the buy signal. When the decision is made on the 4-hourly time frame, we only consider buy signals that align with the daily and weekly time frame. Trading System 2. Technical analysis and trading signals on the 1-hour time frame. On the hourly chart, we see the buy signal. When the decision is made on the hourly time frame, we only consider buy signals that align with the daily time frame. Write down below in the comments what is your strategy for the next few days. Click the card on the either left or right to get to more Binance Coin BNB price prediction analysis and BNB technical analysis. Also, we present analysis on Bitcoin and Bitcoin news today. We cover tickers, XRP, BTC, Cardano, ETH technical analysis and Shiba Inu coin. Check our playlists for the free technical analysis trading course.